For 32 years, the Shades of the Past Hot Rod Roundup has given lovers of classic cars, hot rods, muscle cars, really anything with wheels, a place to see and be seen. Today we'll look at the cream of the crop on this edition of Dream Rides. Welcome to Dream Rides. We're here at the Shades of the Past Hot Rod Roundup at Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And when I got here, I walked around, I saw this 1930 Cadillac, and it made me think about steel rubber products, you know, where I moonlight. And that company was founded with a 1931 Cadillac, so they're rare, but I've never seen one like this. Now, Robin, tell me all about this 1930 Cadillac.
We have seen one at the Myrtle Beach show. It was a 31 Cadillac, and I went back to and Googled a Craigslist search and found this one. A lady just put it on for sale and went and picked it up and looked at it and bought it. She had said that if we, some antique guys were coming to look at it first, and I said, well, if I get it, I'll take your mom for a ride. She was selling it for her mom when I get it fixed. Yeah. So it just has 10 miles on it. So once we get back to South Carolina, I'm going to call her and take her for a ride.
Now this isn't like most Cadillacs or even the 31 Cadillac at Steel. This has got a lot under the hood.
Right. It's got 556 horsepower under there. We can get in this car and go to California if you want.
And really fast, because what I see under the hood, you can't get. It's an actual CTSV engine from a new Cadillac.
Right, yep. I didn't want it, and it's power steering, the transmission, we can get in this baby and go.
And what's really cool is you guys have hot rodded this out. It's tricked out, the color is gorgeous. So it's really taking a classic Cadillac and really making it a fun hot rod.
Right, yep.
Well,
it gets looks. Going down the road, everybody's checking you out.
Why a Cadillac? Why did you want a Cadillac?
I love the golf door. I had never seen a car with a golf door on it.
And you play golf?
No, I don't play golf, but I just wanted one with a golf club door. It's kind of cool.
That's as good a reason as any to have a car. And I tell you, there's some great cars here, and we're going to check them all out, but it's so big that I'm going to get tired walking around. So, Robin, why don't we go find a chauffeur for this thing?
All right. Sounds good.
All around the judging grounds, I found about as eclectic a collection of cars as you could imagine. And among the contenders for the Best in Show award was everything from a 32 Ford Hot Rod to a big and bold Buick and even a tricked out GTO. One of the really cool things about hosting your own TV show is you get to meet up with your friends and put them on TV. And I'm here with a good friend, Darren Nicholson. We've known each other a long time because I remember when this car was just an idea. Now tell me where this all came from.
Well, we started out with an idea that we wanted to build a car at this level. Me and my brother got talking about it, and he said he would finance it so our shop could build this car. Him and his wife started dating in a 69 GTO carousel red Judge, True Judge Ram Air 5 car. So that's why we went with this model, and it kind of took on a life of its own. You know, juices started flowing, and I'd call him, I'd say, man, I really want to do this, or I'll do that, and he'd say, okay, go ahead and do it. So then it just evolved into what you see today.
And what I see today, I'll never forget when you told me about this. It was, yeah, we're going to do a 69 Pontiac GTO Judge, and we're going to do it the way they could have done it if they did it now.
Right.
And I'm like, that's pretty bold. So let's start here.
Yeah, we feel like we made changes to the car that they could have done when they come out with all the old muscle cars new now, you know, how they revamped them. We feel like this is the body style that they should have done, you know. So we started out, this is a Butler Performance 400, 505, 665 horse, and then of course everything under the hood and around the car, everything's been changed on the car except for the right and left floorboard and deck lid. Everything's been changed, modified, or fabricated on the whole car.
And the other thing too is I know for a fact the suspension is amazing because unlike a lot of show cars, it doesn't just sit here. I've seen you drive this on autocross racing courses.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's a killer on the course. It's got street rod garage chassis underneath it, coilovers every corner. It's pretty tight suspension, and it will go, you know, and when you need it, it's there.
And that's what I love about what you do, what a lot of these guys here at the show do. And man, a car like this, it looks great sitting here, but man, oh man, it looks even better when it's running on the course. Smooth handling, good looking, and a well-built chassis. Those were things on my mind when I came across this classic from the 70s.
I just found a gorgeous Indy pace car. It's gold, it's white, it's a hearse. But the only thing missing is Linda Vaughn.
Stay with us for more Dream Rides, because when we come back, we'll show you a first-time car show entry that just might pull off an amazing upset.
This edition of Dream Rides, presented by Steel Rubber Products, is being brought to you by Borla, the world's most winning exhaust; Hurst, America's #1 shifter; Steel Rubber Products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping; and by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology.
Welcome back to Dream Rides at Shades of the Past Hot Rod Roundup. I'm over here in the judging area, and one thing this show has is a lot of cars and a lot of egos, because everybody here wants to win an award. Now, I think this beauty has got a chance to win some hardware. This one, well, not so much.
It seems like there were fantastic looking machines all around the judging area, and they covered just about every possible flavor on a car lover's menu. From loud to proud, from small to large, it was all there to enjoy.
You know, there was a time in America when cars were more than just transportation. They were more like artwork. And this Buick is a great example of the Art Deco of car building. Now, Frank, tell me a little bit about, first of all, the year and everything about the car.
Well, it's a 1953 Skylark. It's a limited production car. They made about 1,560 of them.
Yeah.
Real low numbers of them. They made them 2 years only, two entirely different cars. 53 was on a Roadster chassis. Then 54, they went to a Century chassis. The car got smaller. This particular car, we kept, when we made it into a hot rod, we kind of kept it real stock looking, stock appearing. We just lowered the car. We put an Art Morrison chassis underneath of it. And we put a 502 big block Chevrolet in it, but we dressed it to look like a nailhead, an old 322 nailhead Buick motor. And then the inside was a full, kind of kept the original theme going with it, but we did a full custom interior with all leather, in color changes.
And that was one of the first things I noticed, was that it looks like a nailhead, but it's not. So
right. This
is a luxury car that this thing can move.
Yeah, it should run real well. It seems to handle real well. We don't have enough miles on it to really tell. We've only got about maybe 9 miles on it right now. The car just got finished last week.
Now, how long does a car like this take to build?
This was about an 18-month project.
And that was probably pushing it.
Yeah,
too.
it was. It was a pretty fast project. You know.
How did it look when you got it, when the owner brought it to you?
It was, we had 2 cars to build one, and this was a severely rotted car.
Okay.
Being their limited production, most of these they go in hands of collectors, which they keep as original because the value is so strong on these cars. These are what they call a Motorama car.
Okay.
They built Cadillac had an Eldorado in '53, Buick had the Skylark, and Oldsmobile had the Fiesta, and they're very sought after collectible car. So you don't get a choice of what you're going to get when you get these with the low production of them.
Well, and that's what caught our eye.
Right.
You don't see a car like this very often. Very often you don't even see it hot rodded like this. So it takes a great builder like Frank to pull off something like this. Now, before I let you go, your absolute favorite thing on this car?
The motor.
The motor.
Yeah, because it looks so like it should have been, and it's not, but it's 540 horsepower.
Spoken like a true builder, his favorite thing, well, horsepower.
And if you like your horsepower Chevy style, you'll love this next car, making its debut at Shades of the Past.
This is my first build. When I first bought the car, we was just going to build a simple driver car and got real involved, and it just kind of escalated from there. Well, I thought it was a pretty good car till we stripped it, and we ended up using the roof of the car. Everything else is new. About halfway through, I didn't know if I was ever going to get it done because, you know, it was just a hobby, and, you know, some of the detail stuff I did, I mean, it would take me weeks to do it and get it worked out. When my body guy called me and told me it was finally ready to paint, I'm like, thank you. So
The color combination of this 55 Chevy is both subtle and striking.
been wanting to find something that was a little different. That was a hard choice. We went for years trying to pick out a color that would stand out. A lot of trial and error. I did a lot of work and didn't like it and redone it. Did a lot of custom work under the hood, sheet metal work and everything. We fabricated a lot of metal. I got an engine cover on there to kind of cover the engine up.
This car has solid design, engineering, effort, and execution, and plenty of admirers.
I couldn't believe the amount of positive response we got today. Made me really proud.
Stay with us, because when we return to Dream Rides and Shades of the Past, we'll round up another of the Fab 5 contenders for Best in Show honors. Welcome back to Dream Rides and the Shades of the Past Hot Rod Roundup. It shouldn't surprise anyone that a car show here in Tennessee would bring out a bunch of cars in the state's colors.
Well, since we're here in Tennessee, I had to find a car that had Tennessee Volunteer Orange on it. So, Jeff, tell me a little bit more about this car.
Well, this is a 1932 Ford four-door sedan we built for Don and Carolyn Smith in Mansfield, Texas. And Don Smith is a really big 32 Ford guy, and he has some really, really nice 32 Fords. So
Nicer than this?
Yeah,
You can say
he's got some really nice ones. Really does.
Well, you are one of the top 5 cars in this whole car show, well deserved. So
Thank you.
let's just start at the front. I mean, right here, the engine.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
It's a 312 Y block out of a 57 Thunderbird, and we deburred the block. And this block all started the design around a set of Thunderbird valve covers, but the Thunderbird valve covers were so bad and so porous when we tried to work with them that every time we cut into them, we opened up more holes. So we ended up going with stock just 10 valve covers and kind of going from there. It's got a custom sway bar that goes through the oil pan, and which is a truck pan, 312 Y block truck pan, and it's got a new old stock Hilburn injection. Actually was a mechanical injection, and we sent it out to Dave Ehrlich in California at Auto Trend EFI, and he electronic fuel injected it for us.
That's kind of cool. You went old school with the Hellborn, but you put the EFI in it.
Right.
That's awesome. And how long does this thing take? I mean, you do these things pretty quick, right?
Oh no, I wish. No, this car it took about 4 years to build. I mean, it's quite a labor of love,
So your owner, what did he say? What was his thought the first time? Because I mean, this is a bold looking car.
Yeah.
It looks great.
Well, at first he just told me he wanted a cool four-door sedan to haul his grandkids around in, and we just kind of went from there. Kind of got carried away.
This is pretty cool to haul grandkids away, and it's got a lot of creature comforts in it too, doesn't it? For them?
Yeah, it's got a Paul Atkins leather interior in it, and one of the main features about the car is it being a four-door. They had a post, a B pillar, and we took the B pillar out and made the front door shut on the rear door. So when you do that, you open up a whole new can of worms as far as supporting of the body and everything, and so it just kind of took off from there.
Well, Jeff being really, really polite, because Jeff's from Texas, so Jeff, just tell him it's not really Tennessee Volunteer Orange, is it?
Hook 'em horns, buddy.
Texas, Tennessee. Up next, we have another 32 Ford, but this one's from Alabama, and it's a Crimson Ride.
Got the bug when I was a little kid. A guy down the street, he had one, and since I was 10, you know, I wanted one. He had a 32.5 window, and, you know, I just always wanted one. And so we had a 32.5 window built, and, you know, we've had it for 3 or 4 years, 5 years. So we decided to go to California, and we wanted a Roadster, and so we had Johnson's Hot Rod Shop build us a Roadster. It's got a moon tank on it that is kind of traditional for this kind of street rod. It's got a 383 stroker motor in it, small block Chevrolet, and it's a Brookville body, and it's a 5-speed trimming, 5-speed. On the front, it's ET wheels, they're Drag Masters, and on the front, it's traditional I-beam, you know, suspension. On the back, you know, which this is a fenderless car. And on the back, it's got ET wheels also with a 9-inch forward rear end. We wanted it low in the front like that, a little bit higher in the back, you know, where to have the right stance. It's a blast to drive. It's fun to drive.
And what are the plans for the next hot rod to join the 32 Roadster in the Beasley's garage?
32 pickup probably. I've got a 32 pickup, you know, this parts and the pieces, so, you know, it's got to be put together.
Our next eye-catching ride here at Shades of the Past is a 1951 Studebaker, a car that was originally designed with a nose cone patterned after the high-flying B-52 bomber.
There's quite a story behind this car. I traded a paint job on a GTO for the Studebaker. Took us 4.5 years, a lot of money, a lot of work, but this is what we ended up with. It's got a 355 Chevy motor in it, 350 turbo transmission, 99 Trans Am rear end, 323 Positrack. It's got setting on an 85 S10 extended cab frame, shortened up 8 inches to make one 15-inch wheelbase. It's got power steering, power brakes, air, power windows, power door locks, and it likes gas. Paint job it's called PPG Clear Coat Base Coat. It's got 17 coats of paint on it, sunset red over black pearl. With no sun on it, it's black. That's where the black pearl base comes in. With a little bit of sun on it, it looks root beer. And a lot of sun on it, it turns violet red. The brighter the sun, the redder it gets. Turned out pretty good.
The Studebaker's striking looks has caused many onlookers here to have a mistaken impression of the car's history.
Well, everybody asked me, said, who built it? And I said, we did it. Me and the 2 boys built it.
The Studebaker also carries a special dedication in honor of a lost love.
My wife had cancer, and the boys worked on it while I was taking care of her. So that's the old gal I got right here.
That car is truly a moving tribute. We'll be back in a moment with more Dream Rides.
This edition of Dream Rides, presented by Steel Rubber Products, is being brought to you by Aeromotive. We know it, we race it, we live it. B&M Racing and Performance, quality performance products that work. Steel Rubber Products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. And by Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener.
Welcome back once more to the Shades of the Past Hot Rod Roundup, a truly unique event in the world of hot rodding.
I caught up with Bobby Alloway. Now, you don't take credit for it, but you are the man, the brains behind a lot of this.
Yeah, right, yeah.
This has been going on, this Shades of the Past Hot Rod Roundup has been going on for 32 years. So tell me how this got started and how it's gotten so big.
Well, it was a group of guys there around our hometown, and we started this little old club. It was Shades of the Past, and I wasn't involved in the first of it. A couple guys that worked for me were, but I got in it, I guess, a couple of years after it got started. And we put on a little show, and they're in town, and then it just started, and it grew, and we wanted to do something for at that time it was for street riders, basically. You know, it wasn't, we didn't have the muscle cars and the stuff like this now, like we do here now, which I'm glad we do, but it was more street rod, and we just wanted something our club could do together, and it's grown is what's happened. It's
huge. How many cars are here?
There'll be shy of 3,000.
3,000
in here, but there's probably 10,000 in town. That's the big thing. Yeah, it's real neat. It's something that we enjoy, and we try to give back what they give us.
That's what's really cool. We're standing here in front of these 5 award-winning cars, but you give a chance for, I mean, these guys get to have cars next to Bobby Alloway. I mean, you break some builders. That's what's really cool about this show.
Well, and these cars that you see in our top 25 over here, the ones that's right behind us are our fabulous 5. We take 5 out of the top 25. And what I think the greatest part about this, yes, me and a couple of guys pick the top 25, and we do some specialty awards, which is over on the other side of the wave pool. But you know, you want to be judged by your peers. So when we pick these cars, the next thing that we do when they all come in is I give them a card. And I give them a card and I say, okay, you vote for what you think is the best car of this show in our top 25. But now I'm going to make them put their name on it, because I want to know if they're voting for themselves or not. And I'll always tell them that. And if you think your car is the best car, you need to vote for yourself. That's fine. But every time we've done that, that takes me out of the mix, and it takes the bias out of the deal. You're getting judged by your peers, which I think you should be judged by.
Right.
And that being said, every year that we've done this, the right car's won, and it's won. I mean, you'll get 25 cards back, and it'll be 17 or 18 for the same car. So that tells you that the right thing's happening anyway. So.
Well, and if you're a hot rodder and you haven't been here, you need to be here. You need to be here late summer every year.
Weekend after Labor Day every year. And you know, Dollywood Splash Country, their last weekend is Labor Day weekend, which is great for us, and we follow it right up with this show here. So they've been great to us here too. They've been wonderful. We used to be over in a cow pasture. Now we've got indoor plumbing. So it's great.
Well, it's my first time here, and it definitely will not be my last.
Well, the votes are in, and here's your ultimate winner for Best in Show at the 32nd Shades of the Past Hot Rod Roundup. It's the 32 Ford 4-door sedan, built for Donnie and Carolyn Smith all the way from Texas. She's a beauty, and guess what? It was my pick as well.
We have had an awesome time here in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, home of the Shades of the Past Hot Rod Roundup. We've met some great people. We've seen some awesome cars. Where'd everybody go?
Next week, we'll be moving out to the left coast and the OPGI show from Seal Beach, California. That part of the country's always been at the vanguard of hot rodding, and I guarantee you'll like what you see. I'm Eric Saltrick saying so long from Dream Rides.